everyone, welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. Welcome to the Knitting Turnpike. My name is Gina Pike and I'm so happy that you're here with me today for another episode of What Are You Knitting? I have a finished project that I've never shown you guys that I'm going to share with you all, and I'm also going to show you some projects that you guys have sent me that you guys are working on and have finished, which I'm so loving the fact that you guys are sending me projects to share here with our YouTube family. If you guys are working on a project or have finished a project that you want me to share, please send it to knitbymoonbeams@gmail.com. Give me a little bit of detail about it, and I would be happy to share your project here when I talk about what I'm currently working on as well, so that it's a little bit more of not just my stuff, but your stuff as well. So thank you so much again for those people. I will share that here at the end after I talk a little bit about this one project that I've been working on pretty much about a week. I worked on it pretty hard for about 5 days. At the very end, I think I showed you guys this. I ran out of yarn and had to wait for some yarn to come in, but I didn't really show you the project. I just said, you know, life gets in the way sometimes, and I had like, I think 40 stitches left, and I couldn't finish it for 3 days, but the yarn came in yesterday. I finished it, I washed it, I blocked it, and let's talk about it. All right, I have some video that I'm going to show you outside here in a minute. I'm going to show you the video inside first, and then we'll go outside and show you how it hangs, how it drapes. I like to do that outside because sometimes the wind will catch it just right and show you how beautiful the yarn is. But here we go. All right, this project is a little bit too big for my ottoman. That's why I'm going to show you it outside. But this is the Passionista Shawl. The pattern is by Beverly, or Bev, of Boo Knits. And it's another beautiful lacy beaded shawl. And honestly, I've knitted quite a few of her shawls, but I think this is my favorite design of hers so far. I really enjoyed making this shawl. It is the epitome of lace and beads. All right, let's go in and look at the details of this. She starts right away with the beads here. You start with a garter stitch tab cast on right here in the center and get going. But as you can see, there's lace and beads from the very beginning. Sometimes she'll start her shawls under a lot more stockinette stitch and no or garter stitch and no beads, but from the get-go on this one she opened it up, gave me lace and beads. I'm just loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. And it gets more complex with the design as you go down throughout the pattern. I'll try to just focus on this one section, and then I'll pull back and show you. And then like right in here, she starts putting these beads in a row. Has some more complex stitches. This shawl has some complex stitches. It has the KYOK stitch, which is where you knit, yarn over knit in the same stitch. It has a KYOK in the beaded stitch below, so you have to knit that and all of that into the stitch that's on the stitch that's below the stitch on the needle. It also has a stitch called the KYOK, which is the knit 5 in the beaded stitch below. So you go below the stitch that is on your needle and you make 1 stitch into 5. Let me see if I can. I saw that when I was outside. Here it is. You go in right here. This is the K. You had 1 stitch and it became 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you basically go into the beaded stitch below, and you can see where that's right there. And you knit, yarn over knit, yarn over knit, and it ends up making a beautiful design flaring out from that bead. And then it went into this beautiful decorative edging, has all of these around this, and then it just opens it up, and then you end with these beautiful beads in a line that go into a picot edging. This picot edging, she even gives you spots on where you're supposed to put these little picots in her detailed charts. The picot edging takes probably a day just to bind this off, because you have to cast on 2 stitches and then bind off 5, and that takes some time to do that when you have this shawl that goes around and around and around. Let me just pull back instead of staying up close so you guys can see. Again, this is too big for my ottoman. I think I'm going to go ahead and take you outside and show you what it looks like when it hangs outside on a line and the wind can blow through it. This yarn is from Diana Dye, one of my favorite dyers. It's called Himmel. It's a beautiful royal blue yarn. When we get closer, you'll see the variations in the yarn. This is a beaded shawl. Lots of complicated lace stitches in this one. I love the drape I'm seeing on this yarn as the wind blows through it. I'm not going to explain all the stitches to you, but as I go through here, I'll try to point out some. As you can see, she just jumps right in with the beads. There are beads from the very start of this, and there are beads throughout this whole shawl. I mean, over 1,400 beads in this shawl. Just love them, and I love the way that these beads look with this yarn. I don't know if you can guys see, but how the variations in the yarn, there's like a light blue and this, and every so often there's like a pop of a yellow. I don't know if I can find one right here in this little section, but it's just beautiful yarn that I've never seen dyed like this before. This is a bamboo yarn, and as you can, again, you can see the different stitches. There is of course, all kinds of yarn overs. There's a pass the slip stitch over, slip knit. There is a centered decrease stitch, which you have to slip 2 stitches together and then pass those 2 slip stitches over the knitted stitch, which gives you that central decrease. What I love a lot about this shawl is this border. This is a picot bind off, and what Beverly does really well with her instructions is she shows you exactly on her charts where you have to put the picot, so that you can make sure to get these exactly just right. And look at the drape on this yarn. Here comes a little bit of wind. This is one of my favorite things. But you can even see some like darker purples in this yarn. If I can grab it a little bit. Like in here, there's some purples. Another type of stitch. There's some more special stitches to use with the beading. One is called the KYOK, which I have a video for. It's basically you knit yarn over knit in the same stitch, so 1 stitch becomes 3. There was also some stitches where you do 5 into 1, like this stitch here. You knitted into that beaded stitch and you made it become 5 stitches. The beaded stitch was below the stitch on your needle, so you had to go down below the stitch on your needle and create that 5 stitches out of 1, and that's just a knit, yarn over knit, yarn over knit. I have a video on that. I'll put a link above. But just some special stitches to make this super lacy, super beautiful. I'll step back so you guys can get a preview. I'm also going to talk about a little bit more detail inside, but I just wanted you guys to see how it's draped, how it hangs. Super lacy ruffle on this. I like how she did, there was definitely a planned ruffle here. You can see there's like a triangular shape around it that opens it up, and then it expands into the super lacy ruffle. Anyway, just really beautiful, really fun to make. Took me about a week to make, just working on a little bit every day and not another project. I ran out of yarn. I had to wait for yarn to come in, so that took 3 days to get some yarn in. But I love this project. It is for a friend of mine whom I've asked not to watch this video. So anyway, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, thank you for letting me share that with you. Now I want to talk a little bit about some projects that I've received from you guys that you said I could share here on this What Are You Knitting series. The first project that I received is from Shobha Venogopalan. Shobha, I'm sorry if I butcher your last name or your first name, I'm so sorry. But Shobha has sent us a picture before. She knitted the Hope Remains shawl while I was knitting it. If you want to see what mine looks like, mine is in a lace weight. Hers is in a fingering weight. But I think it turned out gorgeous. I love that you went bold and tried a variegated yarn with this pattern. And here is a picture of her shawl, and it's amazing. I'm so proud of you for knitting this. I remember when you reached out to me and was like, I'm going to make it, and you did it, and I'm so proud of you, and it looks amazing. I hope you will enjoy wearing that. I think you said you lived up north, so shawls are perfect to have when you have a little bit colder weather. So hope you will enjoy wearing that, and I hope you had fun making it. And I would love for you to knit more shawls along with me. So thank you, Shobha. The next project I want to share is from Kristy Turley. She sent me pictures of her crochet Riviera top that she made. This looks amazing on you, Kristy. It's beautiful. It's hard to even realize that it's crochet until you look up a little bit closer. But the top detailing around the yoke with the leaves is just amazing. And I think you did a fabulous job. And now I totally understand why your mom wants one. And you'll have to send us pictures of how hers turns out. It's just a beautiful, beautiful top, beautiful, beautiful stitching. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And the last project I have is, if I mispronounce your name, I'm so sorry, but it's from Meaux, Petit, from Canada. And she sent me pictures of a purse. It's a plastic canvas project that she made. She got the pattern from Pinterest. It's called Bargello. But the colors that she picked to put this together with were all her own inspiration, and I think you did an amazing job. These colors go so well together. The blues and the purples just look stunning together. Kind of reminds me of the shawl I just made, but they look amazing. And thank you so much for sending us this and letting me share this here with all of us. And I hope you guys enjoy seeing all of these other projects and that they give you inspiration on things you might want to make. You know, you might think, I have some of that. I might want to do that. Or you see a pattern you might like that you want to try. So I hope that is my intention here, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. And again, if you want to send me pictures of projects you've made, knitbymoonbeams@gmail.com, and just give me a little bit of information about the project, you know, yarn, knit or crochet, something, you know, if there's something interesting that happened to you while you were making it, that's always interesting to me, and I'm sure it'll be interesting to everyone here. So thank you so much for being here for another episode of What Are You Knitting? I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you are new here and enjoy this type of information or this type of talk, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and come hang out with us and let us talk about our knitting. You know, you share with me what you're making. I like for you guys to put the comments in the comments down below what you guys are currently knitting when I'm talking about what I'm making. It totally makes this for me, makes this enjoyable for me and not so much about me. Please put your comments down below what you're currently working on. If you're having any challenges, Sometimes people might know an answer to a question that you might be struggling with, or what you might need, what direction you might need to take on something. So you just never know where you might get some help from. But we are all a family, and we all enjoy yarn and crochet and knitting and seeing and hearing about it. So please share. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a lovely day, and we will see you guys next time.